Coming up on DITV City Council Special Elections. Hear from the candidates one more time before you cast your vote.
I have a lot of knowledge, and I'd like to continue to use it and be a part of the City Council.
My interactions with all people within this community matter. When I'm sitting on that council, I will know what it's like, for all the people of Iowa City.
We have DITV reporters standing by to bring us extensive election coverage.
A loss on the Lynx. Find out why the Hawkeyes won't be competing at the Marquette Intercollegiate today.
And we'll take a look at some improvements the Iowa football team needs to make before bye week is over.
And just when we thought fall was coming in full force, summer has a few final words to say. More in weather.
We have all that and more coming up today, Tuesday, October 2nd.
Don't click away. DITV starts right now.
Good Tuesday morning and welcome to DITV. I'm Becca Scadden alongside Sydney Zach.
Yes, good morning, Becca. We have a lot to cover this morning, starting with City Council elections.
Today, the Iowa City Council is looking to fill their last open seat. Candidates Ann Frericks and Bruce Teague are both fighting for it. Today's special election is being held after former member Kingsley Botchway decided to step down. Standing by in the newsroom is DITV News reporter Susanna Closter to bring us more. Susanna?
Thanks, Becca. Prepare to cast your vote today in the Johnson County elections. In this special election, we have Ann Frericks and Bruce Teague battling for an empty seat on the Iowa City Council. Whoever wins this election will hold the seat until December 31st, 2021. Now, Frericks, who held 27% of the vote in the primary, is focusing her platform on affordable housing and transportation. And with 21% of the vote in the primary, Teague intends to do something more for Iowa City. When asked on how they would fit in on the council, here's what both candidates had to say.
I'm just one of the tools to make things happen in a way. What it's really about is their goals, and there's a vision that the city sees, how we feel ourselves, the values that we have.
I will listen to my fellow council individuals and, listen and hear what they're saying. But at the end of the day, I have to make a decision based on what I truly believe is in the best interest for all individuals within this city.
Now, voter turnout for special elections tends to be lower, so be sure to head over to the polls between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. today. And for more on how to cast a vote, we have DITV News reporter Mackenzie Cooper standing by in the main library to tell us more. Mackenzie.
Susanna, that's right. Today, Bruce Teague and Ann Frericks are battling it out today for that empty seat on the Iowa City City Council. Now, I'm here at the main library at the University of Iowa campus, and you can see the sign behind me that says "Vote Here," encouraging people to get out and vote in this local election. Now, if you are unsure of your polling place, you can visit the Johnson County Auditor's website, and by entering your address, it will tell you where you can vote. Now, polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. today. Now, for the primary election, which took place on September 4th, only 9% of eligible voters went out and voted. Now, officials are hoping that today more people will get out and vote in this local election. Again, if you are unsure of your polling place, be sure to visit johnson-county.com, and by clicking on the voting section election tab, you can find out your polling place. Thanks, Susanna. Sydney and Becca, back to you.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Molly Tippett's story is taking a bittersweet turn to preserve the memory of the late UI student. The Tippett's family founded the Molly Tippett's Memorial Fund for Child and Adolescent Psychiatry to honor Molly's dream of becoming a child psychologist. A UI press release has already had 270 people donate over $20,000. Molly's name will live on in the Stead Family Children's Hospital and contribute to mental health services for adolescents. For more information about the cause, read Julia Giacomo's story on daily-iowan.com.
Iowa City celebrates the 10th year of its annual book festival. The festival hosts many fun and interesting events and ends on Sunday night. DITV reporter John Chenoweth has the story.
This week, the annual Iowa Book Festival celebrates its 10th year, as well as the 10th year that Iowa City has been designated as a city of literature. I spoke with Executive Director John Kenyon about what to expect for the week's events.
So the festival for the next 6 days, we have more than 60 events over the course of the entire week. And on Wednesday, we have public reading of Frankenstein to celebrate the 200th anniversary of that classic novel. We have on Thursday our Engel Prize celebration with Dina Nieri, who's an Iowa Writers Workshop grad who has won that literary prize from the City of Literature. On Friday, we have an event with Ari Berman, who will be talking about voting and redistricting and gerrymandering. On Saturday, we have more than 30 events with authors reading and doing panel discussions and demonstrations and workshops. And on Sunday, we have a lot of readings and workshops as well. We have more than 100 people who will be presenting throughout the course of the week, including authors that we bring in, authors who are local, different experts in the field, and just people who will be here talking about books and literature.
I'm John Chenoweth, reporting live from the Iowa City Public Library for DITV News.
Well, Sydney, it's finally starting to feel like fall, and now that it's the first week of October, I am all here for it.
Same here, but I think we still have a few more days of summer weather left in our forecast. I don't know, do I put the sandals away? There's no snow on the ground, but to tell us more about what's coming up in our forecast, we have Kennedy in the weather studio. Kennedy?
Thanks, guys. I must say that the weather had me convinced that we were handing over our sunglasses and crop tops for the year and whipping out our long johns and winter coats. But it would not be in Iowa City fashion if we didn't get a random week of sunny skies and high temperatures in the midst of a seasonal change. Did y'all hear me say sun? I know, I'm excited too. Today, we will see a splendid high of 83 degrees with mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. At night, we will see a low of 68 degrees with somewhat cloudy skies and a potential stray of rain showers. Taking a look into our extended forecast, tomorrow we will see mostly sunny skies with highs in the mid-80s and at night a breezy 67 degrees. Thursday, we continue to escalate up the warmth ladder as we reach temperatures in the high 80s during the day and high 60s at night. Friday brings us cloudy skies with temperature in the mid-70s during the day and dropping to 60s at night. And to top off the week, we see temperatures in the low 70s on Saturday, ending the night in cool, calm, and collected 60s. So sounds like quite the graceful week, and I'm eager to go out and enjoy it. Until next time, folks, guys, back to you.
LGBTQ History Month is here and it's making its mark on the University of Iowa community. The LGBTQ Cultural Resource Center is planning events to increase community support, including queer pumpkin carving. Later this month, October 11th, is National Coming Out Day, and it is one of the biggest days for the Iowa City communities. LGBTQ sororities Gamma Rho Lambda and Delta Lambda Phi will have a resource table on the T. N. Clary Walkway, and Reaching Out in Business will provide more information and resources for students at the Tippy College of Business. To check out all the events, read Alexander Score's article in today's Daily Iowan.
2 years after Iowa City passed new recycling rules, the road to progress is still slow. In November 2016, Iowa City landlords and property managers were required to provide recycling services for units with 4 or more tenants. Before the rules, half of Iowa City residents were without proper recycling materials and a car to transport their recycling to appropriate centers. According to the city's senior housing inspector, Stan Laverman, multifamily rentals will soon be provided with proper recycling resources. Iowa City and the UI are working hard towards waste reduction treatments, but the change won't happen overnight.
Get ready to see the old Capitol like you've never seen it before. This Thursday evening, the building will come alive as a centerpiece in a unique light show coming to campus.
Light Art Grand Tour USA is a creation by world-famous artist Jerry Hofstetter. The tour will travel to all 50 U.S. states and feature a famous landmark or monument in each state.
Hofstetter and his team have performed light shows at venues such as the Roman Coliseum, the King's Palace in Norway, and now the Old Capitol in Iowa City.
This free event will begin around 8 p.m. Thursday, and if you'd like to learn more from the artist himself, Hofstetter will be hosting a free lecture at 5 p.m. inside the Old Capitol Museum.
Stay tuned to DITV, where later this week we'll give you a more in-depth look at this unique performance. And Becca, this week would have been the perfect opportunity to have a light show in Kinnick, as it is our bye week.
Absolutely, Sydney. And while that would have been amazing, I would just settle for a home game. I know those are my favorite thing to do on Saturdays.
Same here. This week the Hawkeyes are actually my home state in Minnesota, but I will be rooting on the Hawkeyes, of course. So to tell us more about the game coming up, we have Declan and Natalie in the sports studio.
Thanks, guys. Well, Natalie, just because the Hawks football team wasn't playing this weekend doesn't mean there were action elsewhere.
Yeah, you're right. The third round of the Marquette Intercollegiate at Erin Hills begins this morning. But the Hawkeyes will no longer be at the links after being disqualified yesterday.
Iowa was removed from the field for not posting the 4 scores they needed to continue playing in the tournament.
Junior Matthew Walker had to leave the tournament after an injury on the front 9 of Monday's round.
And then Leo Montero was disqualified after a misinterpretation of the rules.
Montero was the second on the leaderboard before his disqualification.
Well, in other news, the Hawks are finally coming off their bye week, and I think most of us on campus are pretty anxious to see them back in action.
That bad taste left in their mouth by Wisconsin is still lingering, and I think they're really looking to get rid of it against Minnesota this week.
But they will definitely need to show some improvement coming off of that bye week. In the Big Board studio, we have DITV Sports Director Bo Bowman with what will happen if we bounce back. Bo, what's up?
Luckily for Iowa football, it had a bye week to recover following a disappointing 28-17 loss to Wisconsin in a game that could go a long way in determining the Big Ten West champion. In addition to the relaxing week off, it served as time to look at what can be improved. The loss to the Badgers showed that there are a lot of areas that need it too, and there are plenty of other pieces to look at from previous games as well. Noah Fant hasn't been that bad this season. He ranks 5th among tight ends in the conference with 169 yards, which is decent, but given the hype he had entering the season, not so great. Second now, the turnover margin. The Hawkeyes have lost the turnover battle so far with a turnover margin of -1, tied for 84th in the country, 9th in the Big Ten. Iowa has thrown 4 picks this season while intercepting only 2 passes. The Hawkeyes have also lost 2 fumbles, but they've recovered 3, so I guess that makes up for it. I don't know. And while the secondary has not had the ball hawkers they've had in the past, they have Amani Hooker, who's been a playmaker for the Hawkeye defense in other years, so it's only a matter of time before he starts causing more turnovers against opposing offenses. And finally now, special teams. Iowa's special teams haven't been terrible for the most part, but they're the ones that made the costly errors against Wisconsin. 2 turnovers and a fair catch on the 3-yard line highlighted their punt return miscues, hurting the Hawkeyes' chance to win. So the Hawks aren't looking too bad a third of the way through the season, but they definitely need to pick it up with the remaining 8 Big Ten games still on the schedule. Guys in the studio, back to you.
So definitely a big game for the Hawks to try and prove themselves against a Big Ten opponent.
And we'll finally get to hear from the players today at football availability. We haven't heard from them since the Wisconsin game, so it should be interesting to see how they think they've improved since then.
And we'll take a look at the special look at the swimming and diving team as they kick off their season. Guys at the desk, back to you.
Thanks for tuning in to today's edition of DITV.
Be sure to check out our dailyiowan.com for all the latest news stories and to rewatch your favorite DITV clips.
For DITV, I'm Sydney Zapp.
And I'm Becca Scadden. Have a great day, Iowa City, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.